Information from this video is not to dispense medical advice nor prescribe the use of information as a form of treatment for medical problems. Please always consult with your physician or medical team on questions you have.
Hi, my name is Judy Macias Harris. I'm a certified speech-language pathologist and instructor of the Kinesio Tape method. This topic will discuss how we can use Kinesio Tape as a method of prevention for facial discoloration and bruising whenever there's contact points being made on the face. I'll also be sharing some video with my mentor and seasoned Kinesio instructor, Dr. Andrea Wolkenberg. Thank you for taking some time to hear me mention prevention.
Hello, frontline workers at New York Presbyterian Hospital. My name's Andrea Wolkenberg, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Kinesio Taping instructor. And I want to show you a method of protecting your face from prolonged use of PPE. I've seen, video and photographs of frontline workers with bruising and abrasions on their face from the pressure of just hours and hours of wearing PPE. And this is a method, it was taught to me by a colleague, Christine Scarano Ward, also a DPT in New Jersey. And it apparently is quite effective at protecting your face. So here we go. So the first thing that you should know is, although this goes against everything that we teach in kinesio taping in the courses, we always teach you to the skin should be clean and dry and not have any makeup or anything like that. But we're advising that you put a little bit of sunscreen on your face where the tape is going to be. This happens to be what I have around. There's no brand or particular SPF level, but apparently the SPF, it still allows the tape to adhere, but it comes off a little bit more easily. So if you put a very thin film of suntan lotion on your face, right where the pressure is, where you're going to put the tape, that will make it easier for the tape to come off without there being any skin issues. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the tape that we're going to use is a very specific both brand and product. So we are going to be using this Kinesio Tex Gold Light Touch Plus. Okay, so full disclosure, right? I'm a Kinesio Taping instructor, right? So I'm going to be teaching Kinesio Tape, but this is, to my knowledge, the only tape that was developed specifically for the face, for fragile skin, sensitive skin, in sensitive areas. So if you have other Kinesio products around in your hospital or your clinics, very commonly you might have this stuff, this Kinesio FP or Kinesio Classic. Those are the two most common Kinesio rolls that products that folks have. There's also something called Performance Plus. Don't use those, all right, because they were not designed for the face, and the adhesive is too aggressive, all right? The Light Touch Plus, all right? Light Touch Plus, oops, that's not it. This is it, okay? Light Touch Plus is the stuff that has a much less aggressive adhesive and was designed specifically for the face. Definitely, if you have Kinesio Equine, don't use it. And definitely do not use Kinesio Canine unless there's a therapy dog running around your hospital with PPE on. Then use it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to first sort of talk about the pressure areas, right? So if you're wearing something like this is sort of a facsimile of something you might be wearing, a face shield. Your pressure area is going to be across your forehead, right? So like that. There you go. All right, so we're going to need tape right across the forehead there. And then if you're wearing a mask, I don't have, you know, the N95s that you guys have in the hospital. I'm just going to be showing you sort of on a surgical mask, the same areas, I assume. So it comes across the bridge of the nose. Here are your pressure areas, and kind of underneath, let's see here, underneath the chin, right under there. So forehead, bridge of the nose, underneath the chin. If you're wearing some other piece of equipment that I don't know about, and I don't know where the pressure areas are, use the tape wherever you think it's appropriate for you. I'm just going to be showing you the method of how to apply it, and then you apply it wherever is appropriate for you. All right, so we'll start with the forehead. So what I'm going to do is I need to get my hair out of the way. So I don't have a third hand to do that, which is kind of too bad because I'm a manual therapist and a third hand would come in handy. Get it? So I'm going to use this head schmata, right? Which just a Jewish word, means rag. Just put it over here and put it over my head and get my hair out of the way so that it exposes my forehead. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my roll of tape, comes in pretty pastel colors, and I'm going to measure. So I'm going to measure across my forehead. I don't want to get into the hairline. I don't want to be on my eyebrows, right? I don't want to put adhesive on hair if I can avoid it. So I'm going to have to trim it appropriately. So first I'm going to kind of measure. So it's about that long. So if I turn that over, that's just about 3 squares. So this is the tape. This is the substrate paper here. And it has squares with lines, so it's easy to cut. And I am going to cut about 3 squares. And because I have a kind of narrow forehead, right, I'm going to just trim this, make it a little bit less wide. All right, so I'm going to fold it over like that and just, how can you best see that? There we go. I'm just going to trim that like that. There we go. So it's a little bit narrower, and now it will fit a little bit better so I don't hit any hair. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to round my edges. So I'm just going to kind of fold it over, and I'm just going to clip off these edges so that it's round. Now that's not a requirement, but we recommend that you do that, because if you leave the square edges, you have little corners that can curl up and they can catch like on your PPE and can make the tape roll off. So this is, you know, just a better technique. So the next thing you need to know is that the tape is on the substrate paper already on a stretch, all right? In the factory, it is laid down on the substrate paper on a stretch. So we need to release that tension in the tape before it goes on our skin. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear this in the middle like this. Okay, so you just tear that in the middle, and I'm going to peel back the paper, not all the way, but I'm going to peel this and fold it back. This way I can hold this without my fingers being on the adhesive, right? The more my fingers get on the adhesive, the more it picks up my epithelial cells and the less adhesive it becomes, all right? So I'm going to then, all right, right, here we go, with no tension, 0. I'm not stretching this at all, and this is very easy to overstretch, by the way, and to put tension into the tape when you don't mean to, because it's a very thin tape. So we're going to just place the middle of it right on the forehead like that, and I'm just going to kind of rub down the very middle of it, just like that, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger in the middle, and I'm going to take my paper, right? And I'm going to peel it back over my finger slowly. If I just kind of rip the paper off really quickly, it will accordion and it will stick to itself. All right, so there we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the skin back. I want to take all the tension, all of the sort of folds in the skin out and stretch that back. And then I'm just going to lay down the tape just like that with no tension. Okay, do you see that? Now, it is still a little bit long, it looks like to me. It does look like it's going to go in my hair. So I would make this even a little bit shorter than what it is. Okay, I'm not going to trim it now because I'll probably poke myself in the eye with the scissors and then I'd have to come to your hospital. So let's not do that. So I'm just going to lay it down. I'll be brave. All right, and gently rub that down. I'm going to do the same thing in this direction. Peel it over my finger, stretch the skin, lay it down. Okay, whoops, see that little bubble? We don't like that bubble. Before we rub it down, we're going to release that. Just make sure. There we go. Okay, and now we rub. Okay, we have to activate the adhesive. The adhesive is activated by heat, so you have to create a little friction. So these little areas here where it's already caught on the hair, I'm obviously not going to rub that down. I want to release that. Okay, so I would have made this just a little bit shorter so it doesn't catch the skin, catch the hair, excuse me. All right, so step number 2, I need to go across the bridge of my nose. So I'm going to grab my tape, and again, I'm going to measure. Okay, so I'm going to come across here, right? Here's my mask, right? So I'm going to measure across right like that to the edge of the mask. Okay, I'm going to cut that. And I don't want obviously such a wide piece, so I'm going to have to make it narrower. So I usually fold it in half like that. Need a good pair of scissors to do this. And I'm going to trim, right? I'm going to trim the tape so it's a little bit narrower. There we go. And I'm going to round my edges again. Okay, so now I have this piece of tape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip that in the middle. I'm going to peel back. There we go. All right, again, I have peeled back the paper off of the tape, and I'm going to just lay it down with no tension over the bridge of my nose. You know what? I think it's actually still a little bit too wide. So I'm going to make it just a little bit narrower. I'm just going to, okay, there we go. All right. So this is peeled back. Lay it down over the bridge of my nose, just like that. Zero tension, okay? I'm going to grab the paper, peel it slowly over my finger, stretch my skin, and just lay down my tape, okay? Activate the adhesive. Same thing over here. Grab the paper, peel it back over my finger, stretch the skin down, lay down my tape. There we go. Do you look dumb? Yes, you do, but you're under PPE. Nobody will ever know. Okay, there we go. And the last piece, I'm going to grab my roll, measure, right? Clip and trim. So I have pre-cut this one. I think you guys know how to cut tape. So this is going to come kind of under my chin that way. And I am going to, again, I'm going to tear the paper. I'm going to peel it back, just like that. All right, I'm going to adhere the center piece to my chin where the mask hits. It'll either be here, it might be a little further back. Let's just see. There we go. All right, so it comes under there. Maybe I'll pull it just back a little bit. There we go. All right, I'm going to peel this back over my finger, stretch the skin, lay my tape down. Now it's a little too close to my mouth, so I'm going to peel this back. As long as I haven't rubbed it, I can fix this. All right, so I need to pull the skin back, and I want to just direct it out a little further away from my mouth and more along my jawbone. There we go. And same thing here. Okay, I'm going to get the paper off. All right, stretch the skin. And I'm going to make sure to lay this down along the jawline. All right, I don't want any bubbles, so I got to make sure this all lies down well. Rub it. Okay, there we go. All right, so now when you put on your PPE, here we go. Put the mask on. All right, it hits right where the tape is, right? And the bottom of it will hit where the tape is under here, and then your protective shield, it's right there. Okay. The last thing that we want to talk about is taking the tape off, because there's a right way to do that also. If you don't take it off the right way, if you just grab it and you rip it off, you're going to be giving yourself a skin irritation, which the whole point of this is to protect your skin. So let's not do that. All right, so I've experimented with this, and the best way, there are many ways of taking the tape off, but the best way is a pressure and roll method, okay? And so what you're gonna do is you're going to take the edge of the tape, all right, and you're gonna pull the skin away in the opposite direction of the direction that you are going to be taking the tape off, all right? So I'm pulling that way, and I'm going to press into the body as you roll, okay? So move your hand, keep pulling your skin away, keep pulling your skin away, and there is very little discomfort when you do that, okay? Same thing here, okay? Just loosen up the end, grab your skin, pull, all right? And as you are rolling, I'm not sure, let's see, from here, maybe you can see better that way. You have to be pushing into the body, right, with your finger as you are rolling away, and always pull the skin away. There we go. That's number 2. And finally, the last one, pulling up, pushing in, and rolling away. And as I said, that suntan lotion seems to help quite a bit with keeping the discomfort factor down. Okay, so that is putting on the light touch Kinesio tape to protect your face and taking it off. And the last thing I want to share with you is I want you to know that I am part of an initiative called PT for Heroes that offers free telehealth services to our frontline workers, healthcare workers. If you have a need for physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech therapy, this is a free service. So you just go to ptforheroes.com, and there are hundreds of practices that are part of this initiative. I'm not a pediatric PT, but I know that there, a lot of you who are working on the front lines have kids at home who are being educated at home, who might have special needs, and you want to talk to a PT or an OT or a speech therapist who specializes in, whatever your needs are. Those people are out there, and they are ready, willing, and able to help you. So I hope you take advantage of that offer. I also would like you to let me know if this helps you, because I will then solicit a donation from Kinesio Taping Association that has said that they want to help the healthcare workers of New York. They've been they're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they have been, reading about the sort of vast problems we've been having here in New York. So if you could get back to me, and I will try to get you guys, as much tape as I can for your use. This is my card here. Okay, so yep, there we go. So you can, anybody who is watching this, you can call me, you can email me, you can send up smoke signals, text me, whatever. And I will try to help you. And if there's something else you want to discuss, that's fine too. Anything I can do to support our brothers and sisters who are out on the front lines. Thanks very much, and I hope this has been of some value to you. Please let me know. Take care.
I hope you found this information useful. Ever onward.